Alright, we'll let her warm up here. Gonna go out and do some hovering autos, what are called hovering autos. I know the correct term for them these days is power loss at a hover, but I'm old, so I still call them hovering autos. Basically simulate an engine loss from a hover. And we're going to do it first over the grass out here where we're not moving, we're just at a hover, literally a hover. And lose the engine, and we roll it, we'll roll the throttle down. And as we do that, we come up a little bit on the collective to cushion the landing. We also have to add a little bit of right pedal to compensate for the lack of torque. In other words, we lose an engine power, so the amount of torque delivered to the rotor system is going down. That causes the aircraft to yaw left. You have to come in with a little bit of right pedal, counter that yaw, and try to set the aircraft down without it drifting one way or the other. The other thing that happens when you lose the engine from a hover like that, not only are you losing rotor RPM, but you're losing tail rotor RPM. The tail rotor, the thing, as the rotor RPM comes down, the tail rotor and the rotor are basically geared together. Tail rotor spins faster, but they're basically geared together. When you lose the engine, you get a reduction in both rotor RPM, from a hover. You get a reduction in both rotor RPM and tail rotor RPM. So the tail rotor, it's producing thrust, and it's pushing air that way, pushing the tail over to the right, so to speak, to keep the aircraft straight. When you roll the throttle down, you lose that aircraft will tend to drift to the left a little bit because of the lack of the tail rotor thrust, or decreasing the thrust of the tail rotor. So you have to sort of unconsciously put in a little bit of right stick to control that drift so that you're not sliding left as you touch down and end up not necessarily rolling the aircraft over, but at least scaring the hell out of yourself if it touches down sliding left like that. Alright, so we're almost up in the green here. Turn on a little cabin heat today. And then I'll also show you a little procedure I like to call the hovering auto with forward speed that I had to figure out out of necessity. I actually lost magnetos a couple times on R44s as I was transitioning out. So I had a little forward airspeed and the aircraft settled back down to the ground. I'll show you what to do in that case there. And we'll probably additionally do a few slope landings over here next to the taxiway. It's kind of surprising how small of a slope that a helicopter can actually land on. They only land on about a 5-degree slope, that's about it. So, alright, we're up in the green. Gonna roll up, get a mag check. Again, I do my mag checks at 90%, so I'm going to roll up to 90%. There we go. Left mag running good. On the right mag looks good. Got it slightly left to get my horn and my light. There it is. I'll roll it, split the needles. Nice smooth roll there. We'll reestablish at 70. Alright, pre-takeoff checklist. Clear area. Wheels are off. They are definitely off. The area's clear. Storage seatbelts are secure. Warning lights are all off except for the governor. All 3 gauges are up in the green. We've got plenty of fuel for what we're doing. The radio's tuned and we're on the tower. Check the volume here. Yeah, it sounds good. Don't need the GPS for what we're doing. So we'll come off with our cyclic friction. Come off with our collective friction. We'll roll up to 90%. And turn on my governor. The governor should take it right up to 100%. There we go, looking good. And Cape Tower helicopter 201 Tango Bravo. We'll go and lift off here.
Helicopter 211 Tango Bravo, Cape.
Let it start heating up a little bit. Yeah, 1 Tango Bravo's on the Cape Copters ramp. I'd like to go out in the grass just south of the jury hangar there for a little hover work out in the grass.
1 Tango Bravo, the wind 300 at 15, gusting 22, altimeter 293. Use caution operating in a non-movement area. Proceed as requested.
Yeah, 1 Tango Bravo, roger. Oh, it's a little bit wet out here, but we'll find us a dry spot. go about right here. This looks pretty good. So, wind's out of about 300 degrees. So we'll go ahead and set it down. Let's see how flat this is right here. Alright, not too bad. Pretty flat. Alright, so we're going to pick it up to about a 3 or 4 foot hover. You notice I'm the only one in the aircraft, so it tends to fly just a little bit nose high here. Alright, so now, if we were to lose the engine, I'm going to roll the throttle down just a little bit. You're going to see the nose actually kind of yaw to the left. So if I roll throttle down, see that? Get a big old pitch to the, or big old yaw to the left there. So when we do a hovering auto, as we roll the throttle down, again simulating engine loss, I have to bring in a little bit of right pedal to counter that, and then as the aircraft settles, you're going to come up nice and smoothly on the collective. You don't want to come up too much because you'll just hang out up here at about 3 or 4 feet, lose a bunch of rotor RPM, and then come down and hit hard on the ground. So there's a little bit of technique involved, but I'll kind of count it down here. So 3, 2, 1, I'm going to roll, a little bit of right pedal up on the collective, we're on the ground. Alright, nice offset down there. Wait till everything quits moving, all the way down with the collective, roll the throttle back up. There we go. I'll bring in a little bit of left pedal. Go ahead and pick it back up again. I want to pick it up nice and slowly because it's kind of muddy in this field. I don't want to stick a skid and roll it over, so and we'll sneak back a little bit here. I'll sneak back a little bit more where it's a little drier here. Okay, so here we are again. Right into the wind. Now I'll count it down 3, 2, 1. Roll the throttle down with a little right pedal up on the skid, or up on the collective rather. We're on the ground. Once you're on the ground and everything quits moving, down with the collective. Roll the throttle back up. Put in just a little bit of left pedal, and we'll pick it back up. Sneak back again a little bit here. A little drier back here. Okay, so I'm, I don't know, 3 foot off the ground, I guess, something like that. A little bit windy today and turbulent, but not too bad. So we're going to count her down 3, 2, 1. I roll my throttle, right pedal, up on the collective, and we are on the ground. Well, that's what a hovering auto looks like. Pretty unusual to lose a piston engine completely. Not unusual to have power losses. Pretty unusual for the thing to quit completely. You can get a complete power loss if somebody puts the wrong fuel in. We got a piston engine here that's running off gasoline, and somebody pumps, puts jet fuel in it or whatever. Then you could get it to it'll quit all at once. But short of that, a lot of times they'll swallow a cylinder, they'll eat a mag, you'll drop a valve, whatever, and the thing will actually get a partial power loss. So these, doing a hovering auto like this where you have a partial power loss, I'm going to scoot back a little more here, looking for a drier area, is not terribly unrealistic, to be very honest with you. Let's snook up here just a little bit, looks a little drier right here. So again, now we're at a hover, 3, 2, 1, rolling the throttle, right pedal, up on the collective, we are on the ground.